A very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jedel Kabir. It is always a pleasure to have you joining us for political conversations here with hard-hitting Herman Manyora. Prof, great to see you. How are you doing today?
Wonderful.
My conversation comes from what I've been thinking over the week about a divided nation. And President Ruto goes to Lodwar and says the reason why he has this broad-based government is because he wants to unify this country. And you walk around town, you go to shops, you go to malls, you listen to conductors and Uber drivers. It's as if we're still united. From where you sit, how divided are we as a country that we keep on having this conversation every single time?
Who is divided? Kenyans are. Have you gone to Kibra? Mkikuyu hapa, Mjaluo hapa, Mluya. Kenyans are not divided. No. It is the big boys there who are divided over the national cake.
So you listen to
getting position for themselves and the power. They should not lie to anybody that Kenyans are divided. Kenyans are very united. Kenyans are one people. Yeah. So I lived in small places in Aitwa Kambi. If you go to my home, you've seen there is Modoni, there is everybody. Mbudia, you know, Humphrey is called Mbudia. Yeah, there is Modoni, my sister's kid. What are you talking about? There is Onyango. My friend, Kenyans are not. They are countries. And again, because some of these leaders, either they have not read or something, they are countries where two countrymen cannot meet in a corner. They will kill each other. Either because of religious differences or ethnic differences. They can kill each other.
And so you look at...
You know the places, you know. Eh?
Yes, so you look at Gachagua's impeachment.
Yes.
And you ask yourself, what does government mean when they say they try to unify Kenyans and then people are being ousted from their positions? Does this show that the government is willing to unify the country, or is Gachagua's impeachment a way of dividing the country in itself?
Of course, if this impeachment will do anything, it will be to divide the country. It will be to isolate the Mount Kenya people. Yeah, that's the dividing can't get more than that, can't get worse than that. Eh? Yeah.
So what do you think the president is doing? Because his conversation in Lord is about broad-based government.
Yeah. Bread-based or broad-based, the same thing.
I think Kalonzo said bread-based.
Yeah,
So I'm asking, what is he doing then? If you're on this side, I'm hearing even Wetangula is being ousted.
Yeah.
And then,
so it is said.
So it is said.
Or
Raila's clips are coming.
Yeah.
And then the president goes to Lodwar and says, this is why I have Raila on my side. I'm unifying the country.
The president is a good man, and the president is a politician. So don't blame the president. The president has brought in Raila to steady his ship. The ship was sinking. So he did what any politician would do, to bring in people who will stabilize his government. That's common sense. Kibaki did the same. When he differed with the LDP of Raila Odinga and the rest, he went and brought Kinakoech from Kanu. Yeah.
But then what is Raila's role in, let's say, you dividing or unifying? Because there's unifying government.
Yes.
And then when Kibaki, when President Uhuru had this handshake with Raila, that's when we saw Tanga.
Yes.
Now that we have bread-based, that's now what we
now, as soon as this impeachment is over, then you will see how divided the country is going to be.
Then I'm asking you, what is Raila's role? Is he a divider or is he a unifier?
He's a politician. Period.
Yeah.
There's nothing to unify or to divide. He's just a politician. It is the consequence of their action that may lead to division or unity. As they play politics, what comes out of that? It can be either unity or division of their country. So in this case, this game they are playing will lead to division in the country. The Mount Kenya people are going to be isolated, and they'll look for partners in isolation. There's already the Lower Eastern part of this country, most likely already teaming up with the Mount Kenya people. They will get further partners. I can see a situation where the Western nation where I come from, the Mlembe nation, the Luya people, will be divided into two. One will go with the rest, the other one will, Eugene Wamalwa and a few others, will take one part of Western to to Mount Kenya and the Lower Eastern. And so that's how the country is going to be divided.
What role, now that we're in Western, what
But
role?
division in terms of politics is not necessarily a very bad thing.
Herman Manyora's YouTube channel reaches millions of Kenyans every single month, directly through the platform and indirectly through different social media platforms. Our serious political and governance audience are more than willing to purchase products and services marketed through this platform. With zero competition from other digital platforms in this arena, we guarantee that your product will be visible to the client base you seek. Contact us today to find out more about our audience and how you can advertise through Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. Time to reach that willing buyer.
Before we go back to Raila, what role will ousting Wetangula play when it comes to Western politics?
If they remove Wetangula, then the whole of Bungoma and Trans Nzoia is gone. All of it is gone.
Even with Natembeya?
Natembeya is unlikely to convince the people to work with Ruto if Wetangula has been removed. The best thing for Natembeya is to quickly work with Eugene.
And Wetangula now, because he might go to the...
Yeah, Wetangula now. No, to keep so that Wetangula goes nowhere. But his predicament is used to cement the togetherness of the Trans Nzoia and the Bungoma people. They are the same people, most of them, the Pukusus. Get them together. They are almost 40% of the, 30 or so percent of the Luya nation. I don't have the exact figures, but they are huge. The Pukus is the largest sub-tribe, followed by the Maragoli. So if you can get initially all the Pukusus out of Ruto's reach, that's a very big achievement.
You know, from what we are saying, we're talking about Raila Odinga, and I'm asking you, is he unifying really the government, or is he dividing?
Raila has not set out to unify or divide. He's playing politics. He's pursuing his own interests. He wanted to be president, you people didn't give him. So let him do what he wants to do. I don't blame him so much. It depends on the level at which I'm looking at the thing. Mewani gani nimevaa?
Mewani gani umevaa right now?
Nikivaa tu mewani ya kawaida na I have no problem with Raila. Yeah, but when I'm highly charged intellectually, I say he's playing a very bad role. But when I just use my ordinary lenses, which I choose to be, he's just playing politics like another politician.
What role should Raila play as a politician and also...
Raila wanted to play the role of leading this country from 2007. And he has not been given that chance. So let him play any role he thinks is good for him. Yeah. I can't blame Raila. I would understand. Intellectually, I can see the problem. But as just an ordinary human being, I understand Raila.
Then what are you really saying? That Kenyans should now know that they don't have leaders? They're all, because I asked you about William Ruto and you're saying he's just a politician. I asked you about Raila Odinga, you're saying he's just a politician.
Yeah, they are not, leaders in the sense of a leader. A leader is somebody who is different from a politician. They are selfless, they think of future, they think of society, they have a vision, they set out to implement things that will benefit everybody. But politicians just want power for the sake of power. All these people are just politicians. They just want power for the sake of power. And you can't blame them. Yeah.
So coming back to the context of divide and unity, what are we looking at in the future? Because you're saying all these people are politicians. We Kenyans are not divided, but you're saying if the game continues as it is, Gachagua impeached, Wetangula ousted, Kenya will be divided.
It will be divided in the sense that while we vote along tribal lines all the time, while we mobilize along tribal lines, ethnic mobilization, sometimes even militarization, but while we always have only one demography, the demography of tribe, the danger now is we are likely to have highly charged communities engaging at the political level out of anger, serious anger, and with the numbers. The Luo have been annoyed over the years. They have been very agitated, failed, betrayed, and persecuted by Kenyatta and Moi. They could be right. That anger has defined many of the things they have done to keep this country alive in terms of whatever. But now the people we are going to be dealing with, Mount Kenya people, are united in anger against a sitting president, united to remove him from power in 2027, united in anger. And they have the numbers and the resources. That's not like the other people.
How can we embrace our ethnicities and our differences while making political divisions not based on this ethnicities?
Yeah, that's how it has
Can we
been.
get there?
That's how it has been. I need to correct something before somebody jumps, because in the comments, sometimes our viewers are very serious viewers.
Yes.
Very serious viewers. They say, but the Kikuyus were also against Moi. It wasn't that they had anything in anger. They were just missing the presidency. They couldn't see another person from another place running the country as a watch. There was nothing to annoy them. No. They just wanted the presidency.
Which is normal.
And they couldn't believe some fellow from some community was the one leading them. There was no anger. This time we have created anger among our community. A community with such a huge numbers and resources. They can use their numbers and resources to mobilize with the anger. And there's no limit to how much damage the country can get through divisions.
President Ruto says he's looking at a time where Kenyans will not, particularly be that divided based on ethnicities. And that's why I'm asking, can we get to that place where
why not?
we embrace our ethnicities but still vote?
Yeah. That's unity in diversity. To be different but the same. A rich mixture of people from different places. And that's what the common people are. And what the President Ruto should be doing is not be telling the nation that he's doing that by bringing Raila into government. No. Let the president put measures in place that will ensure a child from Turkana, where he was, or still there, and a child from Siaya have equal chances, just as a child from Kiambu and Nandi. We want to see those policies. Policies in education. We want to see, for example, free education. So that it's not the children of the blessed or blessed. Blessed. It's not the children of the rich who access education. No. Every child can access education. That's the policy we want to see. Stop theft, stop corruption. Let this money provide free education to Kenyan children. Education would be an equalizer, more than stories spoken on top of a car, on the rooftop. No. Free education. Where is the money? Stop corruption, get the money, give free education. Education unites people. Number two, let's create a national policy on employment that is computer generated, where nobody has the power to employ anybody. Simple, just like that.
And
nobody has the power to employ anybody. You want a driver in your department or your county. Do we have an establishment? Has it been approved through the process of creating establishment? Yes. What sort of driver? Senior driver. Okay? It is fed into the system. You are brought a senior driver. Yeah.
and
Just the way we choose students to join university. Does anybody do it? Does anybody say, who you end University of Nairobi Medicine, who you end Moi University? Does anybody do it? No. Who does it? The system, a computer. We must create an employment policy in this country where nobody has the power to employ anybody.
Can that,
it is a system-generated thing.
Yeah. Can that work? Can we ignore ethnicity when it comes to governance? You look at Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment, his replacement had to come from Mount Kenya.
Yes.
You look at the MOUs they signed before they take leadership, 30%, 40% of whoever runs government has to come from a particular
You see, I'm building a case and I'm saying, if we do that in education, it becomes a unifier.
Yeah.
Free education. Then we go to employment. I'm not looking at the division those big boys have at the top. Those ones they will continue to have.
We can't ignore that.
No, those ones they can continue to, they will fight over. It's the educated people who have tribalism. Research has shown common people don't engage in tribalism. It is people fighting over resources up there. That Mluya hajapata, unasema 30%. Mbona Waluya hawajapata? Mbona Manyora sio CS kama ni 30% wakubwa. Lakini watu hapa chini hawana ukabila. Ukabila ya nini? Wanapigania nini? They have nothing to fight over. They are just suffering together in Kibra and Madare and Korogosha and elsewhere. Are we together?
Yes.
So I'm saying let's have free education. That will be a unifier. Let them proceed to have an employment strategy where nobody employs anybody in the public service. It is computer generated. Every job, every position, the computer just brings the most ideal candidate and gives it. So here you end favoritism, nepotism, meritocracy works, and society benefits. And in the process you'll find these things will balance. At ethnicity and itakuwa balanced. There's no way the computer will just be picking Kikuyu. No, there's a way it will have been designed, inbuilt. There will be fairness, gender, ethnicity. It will be built in the system we build. You get it?
I'm getting you.
This is a structured way of dealing with this problem. And then at the national level, and this is where Ruto should be convincing us. He should be telling us it is true that a lot of my people are in government. I'm reducing them. This government, the Gachagua, Ruto people, occupy almost 70% of the seats, good seats. Good? I'm not just saying seats. Good places. Every good thing is occupied by either Kalenjin or Agikuyu or some associated
Even
Gikuyu.
those moneyed ministries.
So let that's what I'm saying. Let the president start there. Let's see state appointments reflecting what he's saying. I don't know what I'm saying.
I'm getting you.
You've seen those lists doing the round.
Yes.
Who is MD here? Who is what here? Who is what here? Who is what here? Si umeona?
Umeona.
Let him address that. Practical steps.
And
then
yes,
we can allow them to do those other things with Raila, bread-based, what. Those ones they can. Those are games. Those ones they can play. We can allow them. Because otherwise, why do you want to become president if you don't have any power? Hizo tutawaruhusu. Lakini these things that touch on the common person, these things that make us feel we are not Kenyans, we must address them.
Finally then, if there's a time where Kenya seems to be more divided than ever because of ethnicity, is during elections.
Yeah.
And you hear inter-clan conflicts because one person wants to become an MCA, an MP, and then you look at nationally, these tribes come up because they have the numbers. Are we there yet where we can deal with this problem that comes every single time?
We get there, because people mobilize along tribe, and I've tried to explain. We should understand it is the only demography we have. Because Americans will be saying, who is going to get the evangelical vote is a demography. Who appeals more to the blue-collar workers, the uneducated workers? That's a demography. Who appeals more to female, white female? Who appeals more to white, educated male between Trump and Kamala Harris? Who appeals more to blacks? Who appeals more to Hispanics? Those are demographies in America. We only have one demography.
So we accept this is ours.
Yeah, we have to accept this is our demography.
As much as race is there.
Yes, ethnicity is our demography. For now. It's not even, you cannot say, oh, me, I will appeal to Christians. People said when you had the referendum of, is it 2010? Ruto was leading the no campaign and the church was with him. People said they are going to win because everybody is a Christian. How did they fare? That Christian is first and foremost a Kikuyu. So you cannot even appeal to the educated Kenyan as a demography. Because that professor, that doctor, is first and foremost a Kalenjin before he becomes anything else. So when that nurse goes to vote, it's not the nurse who is voting when they enter there.
It is the Kikuyu.
It is the Turkana nurse voting. Not the nurse. The engineer is not the engineer voting. It's a Kamba who is voting. The primordial instincts take over the moment you enter politics. And there's nothing wrong with that because men must organize around something. So if we remove tribe, what do you think people will organize around? And things are coming up. The Gen Z is a potential demography that can determine elections of 2027. So we are getting there. It may not be 2027, it may not even be 2032, but surely we are getting there. At a time when tribe will be a poor third for the consideration. When a young man will enter a booth to vote and remember he's voting for his future.
You'll get there.
And they choose a Luo presidential candidate and he's a Kikuyu. Because he's voting for his future, not his tribesman. Because it is his tribesman who has messed the country, who is going to destroy any hope of any future for the same man going to vote. So the Kikuyu in him will be put secondary. The young Kenyan with a future will be the one voting.
Well, thanks for tuning in to that conversation. What's your take on the president's call for unity and his justification on this broad-based, Kalonzo calls it bread-based government? Have yourself a lovely rest of your day.